story time on how I almost got kicked off my cheerleading team. So basically, I ended up doing cheer because I'm like, they're for my school. They were like, oh, this is the cheer, like our first ever cheer team ever that we're ever gonna have, and it's gonna be like uniforms. We're gonna have rallies. We're gonna have the games. You're gonna cheer. And I was like, I've always wanted to do cheer. Like, let me try it. So I did it, and it was pretty good. It was like hard at first because I was like, I don't think I'm really gonna be able to do this because the dancing is hard to keep up with. The cheers, you know, it was a lot. But I ended up getting it, and I ended up making the cheer team, which was good because it was something I worked so hard for and I didn't give up on. So I was like, let me keep working, and I did, and I made the cheer team with all types of people, and I ended up making a lot of friends. But there was this one girl, and oh, and for this cheerleading saga, there might be a few stories because I had like a few like different type of sections things. But for the first one, this one girl, like I'll make another story time, but she just did not like me. We did not like get along or nothing. Just cause like she just didn't like me for some reason. I didn't even know her. Didn't even know her name. But what ended up happening was she was mad at the fact that we ended up dating the same person, but I dated him first. I was the blueprint. Let's not. But I dated him first. And after that, after we broke up, she dated him, which is fine because there's nothing I could do about that. People move on, and she's just another person. So I was like, that's fine. I don't even know her like that. She's not my friend, no nothing. So that's fine. And you know, he's done with her. He breaks up with her, and then he comes back to me. But I was kind of like, but we kept talking as friends though. And she starts talking to me, and we end up being cool because he ended up doing something very bad, and like maybe I can have another story time on that, but he ended up doing something really bad, and so both kind of made us like off of him, and then we started bonding over that. Future Taylor editing this, I didn't have no receipts. Oh, no receipts, no type of receipts whatsoever. But I did in fact, we did in fact used to talk, but I don't have like no hardcore proof evidence anymore because I didn't feel like there was a need to keep her in my phone, and I didn't even think I was gonna be doing YouTube, so that's why. That was like a quick debrief. Been texting about that and stuff, and we got along with that, and but out of nowhere it broke off. It was crazy. She was just like, oh, you know, I was only being friends with you because I wanted you to get off my back. Well, so I was like, okay, and I just left her alone, let her do her thing, because like there's nothing I can do about that. It is what it is. It's part of life. And then we get to cheer, and she's all like mugging me and stuff. She's all being weird, and I'm like, who are you anymore? Who even are you? And it threw me because it was like what are you doing? And she's all like, oh, and she gets me in trouble with her mother, the coach. She gets me in trouble because there was some cheer that we didn't agree on, because every time we cheered for the games, like we all made the team. This is the whole actual team, and every time we like had the games and stuff, she would never be that loud. She was always super quiet. And at a basketball game, people are loud. Like you need to be able to be loud so that everybody can hear you. And we're trying to, and she's so like, I'm like, we can't hear you. And they told us, it was like, you cannot talk. You should not be talking for the cheer stance. So if you want to make somebody speak up, or you want to do something, you need to tell them like this or like this or something. I did that. I'm telling you, I did that. Like we're all in our lines. We're all in our lines, and I'm standing like, let's say like right here, and it's like one person right here, one person right here. She's that person. She's like right here, and I'm like, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. This girl looked at me. She was like, And I was like, whoa, whoa. And I had to look around. I had to look around to the people next to me because I was like, am I tweaking right now? Like, did she just look at me like that? And she did look at me like that. She did look at me like that. And people were just like, yo. And we get outside. And they're all like, we have like our circles of the coaches are there, everybody's there. And they're like, oh, so what happened? What do you think you did good or something? And I was like, I was kind of being petty, but I was like, I have something to say. And then she was like, her mom, she was like, what do you have to say? And I was like, I tried to do the signals you told me to do, and your daughter mugged me. And she was like, her daughter raises her voice at me, and she's like, I didn't mug you, da, 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 da. And I'm like, calm. I'm standing straight, and I'm like, yeah, your daughter mugged me. Like, she mugged me. And she comes all up in my face. She's like, no, I did not mug you, da, 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 da. And everybody's just watching. And the coaches are just standing there, and it's like, you're supposed to be the coach, and you're supposed to break it up before it gets like that. That's a violation of contract. You're like, supposed to break it up, make sure no fights happen. And she's like, no, I didn't mug you, da, 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 da. And I step up to her because you're not about to do me like that. And I was like, yeah, you did mug me, because like you did. I seen that. I was trying to be respectful, and I'm like this, like this, and you're gonna sit here and mug me. Like, you're being crazy right now. And everybody agreed with me too, because they knew I wasn't tripping. And then the coaches break it up, and they're like, hey, stop, you're not supposed to do that, we're not about to fight right here, right now. And so we did it, and then we end up walking off, and she's still running her mouth. And then I'm like, well, you're sitting here running your mouth, you're not doing nothing. Like, you're just acting. Future Taylor here, editing, looking at the video, saying she probably wasn't going to do nothing. I probably wasn't going to do nothing, so just acting like you're tripping right now. And so we walk off our separate ways, and that was it. That was the craziest part. And then the next time we have a game, the next time we come back to school, they call me into the culture office, and they're like, oh, you violated the contract because you're still in your school uniform. No, you're still in your cheer uniform, and y'all want to get into a fight. Y'all want to be mean to each other and stuff. And I was like, they got me, and they wanted to make me re-sign it. And I was like, I'm not about to re-sign this contract because I'm a minor, so I need to at least let me call my mom so that she could look over it with me to make sure, it's still the right stuff. And the coaches are all like, no, you don't have to do that. It's the same thing from last time. And, I was just like, just to make sure, because that's how people try to get you. So I was like, no, just in case, let me call my mom and stuff. And they would not let me call her. So I still called her anyways. Well, I had to call her after, but they wouldn't let me. So I had to end up like signing it. And I was just mad because it's like, you're just tripping. And of course she got to sign it. She signed it, but she didn't even have to do what I did because her mom is right there. Her mom is the coach. And then that was it. Then I called my mom, and I'm like, they just sat here and made me sign this contract or whatever. And then my mom, she had talked to them and stuff, and it was crazy. It was a lot going on. And this happened for like days, periods on time. Like every time we was at cheer practice or at games, we always had to like stay apart from each other, not talk to each other, because something was always gonna happen. But the part that made me almost get kicked off the cheer team was our last game, our game against our rivals. And we're having it, we're doing everything, and it's the rival school, and something ended up happening to our boys basketball team. Like, they stole some juice boxes or something, and the rival team, they hold up something. They're like, oh wait, you already know my name. But they're like, oh, you're so broke, you had to steal daddy's money to get some juice boxes or something like that. They put that up, and we kind of wasn't gonna stand for that because it's like rivals, playful bickering and stuff. And I'm like, oh, period, just joking at it, making it seem like it doesn't affect us, because it really didn't. It's nothing crazy. Like, and then the coach, the girl's mother, she gets mad at me. She's all like, Taylor, why are you all like entertaining them? You're not supposed to do that. You're all doing this. You're being so disrespectful. Da, 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 da. And she was like, you can sit down for the first 2 games. She was like, you can sit down and you will not get up. And then some other people trying to help me, they was like, she didn't even do anything. It wasn't nothing crazy. They were coming after us. And then she was like, you two can sit down too. And we all had to sit down because it was like, you're not going to do nothing. And when I tell you, the rest of the cheer team was getting cooked out there without me, it was bad. No hate to the cheer team though, because I like some of the people that are on there, like they're still my friends. But a lot of them were able to say that the cheer wasn't the same when I wasn't on there. Like I was able to help them and bring like their voices louder and stuff. So when I wasn't on there with them, they kind of like knew and they kind of felt it. So that ended up happening. And then, you know, we sit back down because the two games are over. But the whole time we're just sitting there, we're all like mad and stuff because I'm like, you know, I just had to sit down for 2 games and stuff. And then I go tell my mom because I'm just like, you know, you're probably like, oh, she's always doing this. I told her mom, I did. And so I told her and I was like, they made me go sit down for some crazy stupid stuff. And she had to sit down because that's what she had to do. That's what she gets. Da 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 da. Like, girl, you had to sit down too. Like the game before that, you had to sit down. So let's be quiet. Did I name y'all? We'll cut that out. We'll cut that out. But you know that ended up happening, and so I go tell my mom. She goes to go talk to the lady, the girl's mother, and the principal. But she wasn't supposed to be talking to the principal. She was supposed to talk to the coach lady. But the principal comes up, and the principal, he's all like, what did he say? He was like, oh, my mom was like, are you busy? Talking to the main lady. She's like, and then she just doesn't answer her. And so the principal is like, no, she's busy. Like, he's like, no, she's busy, but you can come talk to me though. And my mom was like, you know, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to her. Like, she's not doing nothing. And so then my dad talks to the principal because he's like, you know, we like saying what's going on and everything, and talking about the mistreatment and the inequality. Is that the word? Probably the inequality that was shown amongst the cheer team and everybody else. So we have to talk about that. I could give like other story times on that because there's so many like different events that happened with cheer, but these are like the main ones. And so it continues on, and they're like, oh, you know, we'll have a talk about it or whatever. And we ended up coming to school like a few days later or so, I think, because the game was on a weekend, so we came to school on that Monday, I think. And you know, we're supposed to have a talk because we're like, you know, we could have a talk with everybody, with the daughter, the mother, you know, which is the coach, the assistant coach, the also other head lady, my mom, my dad, and me. There may be some other cheer girls who have problems they want to talk about. And so we end up doing that. We try to do that, and we get there. We're waiting for the like, oh, hey, you know, come in. And we do. Nobody's there. It's just the principal. My parents are like, they're like, why is, you know, not everybody else here? And he was like, oh, there's not going to be nobody else. And we're like, why is there not going to be nobody else? And he's like, because it's not about them. And we was like, what? And he was like, you know, it's not that big of a deal. We could just talk it out here. You could tell me what's going on, and I'll get back to it some other time. And we're just kind of like taken aback because like, what? Like, this doesn't make no sense. You're like, we're talking, and it's like you're supposed to be helping the school out, making the cheer team better, but you're making it worse by like kind of brushing it off type of stuff and not actually addressing the problem. And so because of that happening, it was kind of like they ended up having a few more games, but I didn't go to that because at that moment, when after this happened, my parents were like, you know, you're done with this. You're not gonna be cheering anymore. You're done with this schools too. So you guys actually want any other story times, or maybe a longer story time about this, like a better detailed one, because you know. So let me know, like, subscribe.